What's up, YouTube? This is going to be a guide on how to use Ninetales, Alola, in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I'll be providing competitive movesets and some fun meme movesets too. If there's a Pokemon you'd like to see me cover, put it below in the comment section of the video, and let's get into it. So, Alolan Ninetales, the best Veil setter in the game, and an amazing ability with Snow Warning. Looking at its stats, its best stats are its speed and its special defense. And it's pretty much got everything there to set up on any snow team. And it could work into any team, really, just with Aurora Veil and Snow Warning and be able to speedily set that up. So our first set here we got is a Veil set, which most people will use Aurora Veil on Ninetales. It's his bread and butter, right? So we got Aurora Veil, which works really good. So we got 5 turns, and we're going to have the damage halve, which is going to work beautifully, right? Now, it works well with Snow Warning because you can set the snow up and then you can have Icy Rock as your item. So that's going to be very, very good. Alternatively, you can have Light Clay to make Aurora Veil go longer, but the snow to go less for 5 turns. I actually like having the snow going up further because it actually allows Ninetales to have extra bulk even after the Veil, you know, due to the Ice type buff. So I quite like that better than Light Clay personally for singles. This Veil set, we got Blizzard. Blizzard works rather nice with 100% accuracy in the snow. You can also opt for other stuff like Freeze Dry as well. Freeze Dry obviously is a lot less base power, but it does have a super effective on water. So if your team needs to be able to hit water types a little bit better, maybe Freeze Dry can be the way to go here. Moonblast, obviously a great fairy type move there. 95 base power, and it can drop the special attack. And the last move I like to put on here is a little bit of a mixed bag. You can either have Disable, which works pretty nicely. You can disable the last move that was used. Or you can have stuff like Encore. Encore is pretty good too, because you can sometimes set your Veil up, and then if you've got, say you've got like a Stealth Rock or an Entry Hazard Pokemon, primarily more in singles, you can Encore them into a useless double setup move, and then you can get some good damage off the next incoming Pokemon, right? Which can work very, very nicely. So either one of those can be pretty handy to use on Ninetales. It's quite versatile as that lead Pokemon. So that's what I would go for there. Another set you can run, or do Terra Ice on that. I do Terra Ice because it just works well, gives it that extra bulk, max special attack, and max speed, timid nature. That's generally what you do on Ninetales. It's difficult to put any EVs anywhere else because it doesn't really make use of them. It doesn't really have the defensive bulk, apart from the snow boost there. So usually it's very speed and special attack EVs on most sets. Now, Ninetales can be a good sweeper. It has the potential for that by having Nasty Plot. So Nasty Plot's going to give you a good boost to your special attack, which, quite frankly, it does need it. It doesn't hit super, super hard. So Blizzard or Moonblast. And I like to run Terra Blast Fire on there. I think that's a great defensive type on it, because you've got a 4 times weakness to Steel type. So if a Steel type comes in, you can pop that Terra Fire and go Nasty Plot. Or if you've already got a Nasty Plot, you could pop a Terra Fire and go Nasty Plot again. So you get 2 Nasty Plots and then cook them with Terra Blast Fire. That can work very, very well too. That's going to be outspeeding a lot of Pokemon. 109 is pretty good base speed there for sure with timid nature. The item I like to give this is heavy duty boots, just in case there's any entry hazards on the field, either to slow it down or stealth rocks to do damage to it. So I'd go with that. You can go for some other items, but that's probably one I would say works the best on there. You could have Life Orb on there as well if you want some even more damage output. You could do that. But this is like purely set up for sweeping, so I feel like Boots works best on this set. This is definitely geared towards more singles. If you had to adapt this into doubles, if you really want to use Nasty Plot, you might be able to put, well, since you're not setting Veil up, I'd probably put Sash on there or something like that. So that's a set you could definitely use for Ninetales Alola with the Terra Fire. Let's have a look at some double sets here. So this set is definitely focused around setting up the Veil, of course. because we want the Veil to be staying up for longer, right? So we got Light Clay, so that's going to make Aurora Veil last for longer. And let's put Snow Warning on there too. So Snow Warning, the weather can get changed a lot in doubles, right? So that's why I've done Light Clay instead of the Icy Rock. So we got that. So Veil's going to be up for 8 turns, which is a long time in doubles, right? So that's 8 turns of goodness. And then you've got Blizzard, just spammable. A powerful spammable ice move. Dazzling Gleam is really good because you can hit both of the targets too. Fairy Stab, excellent. And then Protect. It's a pretty standard Ninetales set, and it works well across the board. Terrify as a defensive terror as well. That's how I would kind of go for that. I've seen some other terror ones, but that's probably the best one. It works the most, unless you want more damage. Say like ice, you could have more damage with ice. That could work too. So I would go to the next one here. Let's check out the next set. This one also isn't a Aurora Veil set, but it's more of a support set. And I've used this a bit, and it's actually pretty fun because you can catch people off guard. So you've got extra bulk, you've got lots of support style moves, and you've got a different terror too. We've got Terror Ghost. So this one is sort of made to get around any like fake out users or extreme speed and annoying stuff like that. We've got Aurora Veil and Light Clay still, but this time we've got Icy Wind. So we've got dropping the opponent's speed, and we've also got Helping Hand. So this is a support Ninetales compared to the other one here, which is more of a sweeping set, right? So we're going to set that Veil up. We're going to drop the opponent's speed with Icy Wind. We're going to Helping Hand our ally, boosting the 1.5, and we've also got Foul Play. Foul Play is actually kind of low-key good on Ninetales, especially if someone tries to set up against you, or they just have a high attack stat. So you can use that attack stat in the damage calculation and do some really, really good damage, especially if they think you've only got like a weak ice move, or and that's it. They might think they can set up on you, especially if the Veil's there. They might try and set up as well. The EVs I gave this, we definitely gave it a lot more bulk. 252 in health and 252 in speed. So, works really, really well for that. And with that Snow Up and Veil, Ninetales actually has some very nice bulk. Even on the defensive side, it's actually not all that bad. Timid Nature, so we can still go first and do our Veil and Foul Play and Icy Wind, those sort of things there. So, that's what I would go for as an alternative Ninetales set if you want a bit bulky, and it still does its job as setting up the snow. I'm so used to saying hail. The snow there. It's pretty good for that. Let's have a discussion with some partners and teammates and counters and stuff in a little bit. I'm just going to show you these last couple of sets here, and then we'll do that. So Ninetales actually gets Calm Mind. So I came up with this. It's more of a single set, but I came up with this. It's almost I say it's a Pip Night special. So we've got this Calm Mind Draining Kiss. So Draining Kiss is a really good move for getting health back. So we've got Calm Mind, Draining Kiss, Aurora Veil, and Chilling Water. So it's a really bulky set because I wanted to make a bulky Ninetales for fun of it, and I did try it, and it actually works fairly well. So max health, max defense, Bold Nature. Definitely geared more towards singles, right? And then we've got Icy Rock to extend the snow, because that's going to give us that extra bulk too, being an ice type. And then with Bold Nature and the buff to the ice types, it's actually really tanky. Very, very tanky for sure. And then we've got Calm Mind to boost up its special defense and its special attack. So it's going to really make that tanky all around. And then once we've got a couple of Calm Minds up, Draining Kiss is going to be doing a really good amount of damage there, even neutral, and super effective. You're going to get tons of health back. So, 75% there, you're going to get back damage dealt. So, really good. And then you've got Aurora Veil on top of that as well. So, Aurora Veil and the buff there to Snow. So, it's going to be good. And then if any fire types come in or physical attackers, you can just spam Chilling Water and keep dropping their attack by one stage. So there you go, a nice Calm Mind Kiss Ninetales Alola set. Definitely sort of off-meta set, but it could definitely work. And of course, we'll do a Pimp Night special now. Okay, so we have got Alola Ninetales Pimp Night special. We had to do a physical set here. So we got Icicle Sphere with the loaded dice. So we got that 4 hits guaranteed and maybe a 5th hit. We got Play Rough. It does get a nice fairy physical hit, which is pretty cool. And we got Terra Blast. Now, Terra Blast ground isn't all that bad on Ninetales because you can hit Poison for super effective. You can hit Steel for super effective as well. And Fire for super effective. In fact, I would recommend Terra Ground on a lot of these too. If you don't have Terra, if you're not relying on, this set here, the Nasty Plot one, you could definitely have Terra Ground. Even this set here, but that's more defensive. It's probably better if you've got Terra Blast. So if you want Terra Blast on your Ninetales, you want some coverage, go Terra Ground. Hits lots of different super effective types against you. Now, it actually has a way to boost its attack, which is pretty surprising. So it's got Howl. So Howl is going to boost our attack by 1 stage, and we got that Snow Warning too, just for a bit of bulk and stuff like that. So we can maybe get a Howl up before we get clapped. So we've got max attack and max speed Jolly Nature, and we're going to need a good lot of Howls to do any damage at all. I would say at least 2, 3 maybe to get that up. So yeah, it's definitely a gimmick set, but a fun gimmick set. Another move it does get it as well, which is pretty funny, is Triple Axle. So you could use that instead, right? But you'd obviously change out the loaded dice. Maybe give it like Lumberry or something like that so it doesn't get burned. Not that many people would be burning a Ninetales, they'd just be using a Fire-type move on it. But a beautiful Pimp Night special set there. I hope you enjoyed that one. Let's have a look at some teammates now. Okay, so some teammates we got. We'll bring it up here. So any Pokemon that's going to benefit from this is like slower ice-type Pokemon. So I got to say Calyrex Ice Rider. It's going to give it even more bulk. I've done a Calyrex Ice Rider guide already. That's going to work really nicely. For singles, Baxcalibur or even double Baxcalibur works really nicely. Especially in singles, it allows you to set up Dragon Dances because you've got that extra bulk, and you can begin to sweep or Sword Dance if you've got a Sword Dance set. Just doing some examples here, so it can be a great working well together with Ninetales too. So that works nicely. Another one you could use as well, probably if you were using that Baxcalibur, Ogerpon wouldn't be too bad. Like Ogerpon Half Flame wouldn't be bad too, because that gets rid of a lot of the counters as well. So that could be very, very good as like Ninetales, Baxcalibur, and Ogerpon Half Flame. They all work really well together and cover each other well for weaknesses and whatnot. So that's going to be a very, very nice partner for it. To get around any of those steel types as well that can be a pain. So that works well for singles. Some doubles ones you can use. I was thinking a really annoying Pokemon to take out would be Gudra. Even Gudra Hisuian would be really... Imagine this thing with... You've probably come up against it before. It's a tanky Pokemon. I've done a guide on this already. If this has Veil Up, it's so hard to feint. It's just annoying. So... like a real bulky Pokemon, and it works well on Ninetales, right? It works very, very well because of those Steel-type moves, and Poisons can't affect it. The only thing it has to worry about is Fire, but that's not that bad because it's got its Dragon typing. So, good partner for Ninetales for sure there. Absolutely good partner. Really, really good partner for sure. I'd say that's a really great partner. Probably more for, you got singles or doubles. Doubles, I think it would go probably pretty good there as well. Ninetales can really disrupt a lot of really powerful Pokemon as well. So Pal's one, it can really do well against. If you see that all the time. Even Urshifu. Like Urshifu Rapid Strike is going to get dropped by that. But like a single Moonblast will drop that. So that's another. It's a good Pokemon to get around, especially if you've got like you've got your Veil up. You can absolutely destroy Urshifu. So there's some pretty common Pokemon that are used a lot in every format. So you can definitely get around those very, very easily. Even some other bulky Pokemon. I was thinking Cresselia would be a pain. If you've played competitive or played with Cresselia before, it's just a beast, right? So that with a Veil Up is absolutely disgusting. So that would be another great partner for it. Absolutely. A really, really good partner. Now, I hope another funny one would be under snow would be Reg Ice too. This would be really funny because it's got such a fat special defensive stat, and once it with its defense and being an ice type and a Veil up, that would be insane as well. So just thinking of some cool ideas there, you know, for that. Probably the best counter in the game to Alolan Ninetales is Scizor. Definitely, I'd say the #1 counter. Just Scizor with Bullet Punch and Technician is a solid counter. Even with the Veil up, Ninetales, yeah, it's cooked, right? So that is I'd say the #1 counter. Absolutely. The only thing we're talking about Urshifu before, Rapid Strike. So Rapid Strike's going to be a problem too with Surging Strikes. Even if you like, because it's going to obviously ignore the Veil with a crit. So that's another one, a problem Pokemon as well, for sure. You might have to have a Terror or something to get around that. If you had Terra Fire, it's bad too. So like Urshifu, like Scizor, Urshifu, but they counter a lot of Pokemon in the game. So it's not too much. It's not really too much of a surprise either. Another Pokemon you could run on there against, I mean, Miraidon. It depends what sort of, any really good like Miraidon, Koraidon, they're going to be good getting extra bulk. They've already got natural bulk together anyway. That's going to be pretty good. Let's have a look at some ice Pokemon. How about Articuno? Yeah, okay, Articuno, yeah. There we go. So Articuno can work well because it's got Snow Cloak. Oh, we got to do a Snow Cloak set. Okay, so Snow Cloak Articuno. This is just pure scum with like evasiveness and extra bulk. So you can definitely run that along there. I mean, Articuno's not used that much, but under the snow, it can be pretty good. And then you've got some other Pokemon like Slush Rush Pokemon, when I can actually spell. So Slush Rush, we've got stuff like Beartic and Sandslash Alola. So Sandslash Alola with Slush Rush has its speed doubled. So that can be a viable partner as well. And it carries that steel typing too, so that can be quite handy. And just have to watch out for fire. And then you've got Beartic as well. Beartic's kind of interesting because it's got Slush Rush and Swift Swim. Very like unique there too. But a couple of those Pokemon can work well. You got Icy Body as well. Ice Body. Icy Body. There's a couple of them. You got stuff like Reg Ice. We looked at Glaceon, which also has Snow Cloak, Avalugg, and Baxcalibur as well. But Baxcalibur most typically has Thermal Exchange instead. So yeah, you could have Ice Body, Avalugg. That could work too. So there are a couple of options there for any other Ice Pokemon. I want to make a Ninetales that's a Snow Cloak set. Let's do that. Let's do that right now. Okay, so if you don't know Snow Cloak gives you evasion of 1.25. So it's kind of scummy, right? So we're gonna give this an Icy Rock because we actually have to set our own hail up here, right? It can't set a Snowscape. So see, I'm still locked into calling it hail over snow. So we got Snowscape, right? Snowscape's gonna be setting that up. We want missing though. I would probably have Substitute. Substitute and Snow Cloak work pretty well together. What other status moves do we have here? Veil's good. Maybe we don't need Veil. Maybe you don't need Sub. So we got Veil and Sub. We want Speed though. I know we want Speed because we want to go first. Because we want to get that initial Snarl for bulk. In fact, I would use this with another Pokemon, like maybe a Bomber Snow, if it set the Snow up there. But if you had to set up yourself, we've got Snow and Veil. What else can we use here? I think you got something like really, really scummy. We've got... I mean, Blizzard would be okay as well. Draining Kiss would be interesting. That could be interesting. That could be really interesting. Draining Kiss. Yeah, so, and then we got Blizzard. Maybe we could do something like this, like a sweeping. We still do a sweeping set, because we want damage. And then we could go like Snowscape, get the Veil up, if it, Uri could do that. And then we've got Snow Cloak as well. So you might get a couple of misses against you, and then you could get some Draining Kisses off. That could be interesting. Or you could use Substitute or something like that. I don't know, just an interesting way to run Ninetales It's kind of like a Temu Glaceon, right? Glaceon kind of does the snow cloak better, and so does Articuno. But you could give it a go if you, you know, if you wanted to, right? All right, let's have a look at its other moves and stuff. I like to go over every kind of move that it's got and discuss it. So it does have agility, which I don't think it's going to ever need because it's got great speed. Oh, it gets baton pass. So if you're playing with a rule set that allows baton pass or casual, you can baton pass nasty plots. You can even baton pass the nasty set veil up and then baton, like something like this is gross. Like imagine this. So you just baton, you'd be easily be able to do this if you weren't versing like, I don't know, something like a pure baton passer or something. I'm just thinking, right? Yeah, so you could pass that over and then you could have the hail up, snow up. I've called it hail or snow. And you could even have light clay on there to extend out the veil. So you could use it as a full on passing baton passer. So pass on, you get veil, sub veil, and then nasty plot, and then pass the sub and a nasty plot on, and you still have veil up there on your incoming Pokemon. Ooh, that's gross. Let's have a look at some other moves on here. It actually gets Plane Split, which is interesting. Does this get no, it doesn't get Memento though. Now this is my I want to do this as an anti-set too. This for singles. If you've got someone else that uses Ninetales, Imprison is really, really good. It's super underrated. If you use this against someone, even in doubles, right? If you use, especially in singles, because you'd see Moonblast a bit more. You don't really see Moonblast too much in doubles. There's more Dazzling Gleam. Even like you got Veil, Blizzard. If you use Imprison, you can stop an opposing Ninetales using its Veil and Blizzard. Like, you can shut them down completely. So, even in singles, that's going to work great because they're always going to have these 3 moves every single time, right? So, great little set there with Imprison to shut them down. And what Imprison does, the opponent can't use any moves known by the user. So, if you've got a Ninetales and it's got Veil, Blizzard, and Moonblast, can't use them, has to swap. So, it's great. It seals them completely, which is really, really cool. I just thought I'd mention that. Another okay coverage move as well, if you're looking one for Dark Pulse, isn't too bad. But it is a little bit barren with Ninetales. Well, back to its status moves. We got to look at all of them. It gets Spite, which is kind of interesting, and it gets Hypnosis too. Hypnosis is a bit shaky accuracy. I think there's other Pokemon that probably sit there better. Looking at its special moves, we got Blizzard, Chilling Water, Dark Pulse, Dazzling's more for doubles. Draining Kiss, we gotta look at that. Extra Sentry. Freeze Dry's not bad fitting water types. Hex. Unless you had some sort of toxic spike set up on the field, or Will-O-Wisp, or some sort of team that was based around status, I don't think Hex is going to do you too much good. No point using Ice Beam. You've always got Blizzard going there. It does get stored power, but you're not going to get enough boost up quick enough to make use of it. We talked about that. Terra Blast, Weather Ball, talked about those. Don't need Weather Ball at all. And then we got Icy Wind. So Icy Wind's good support sort of move for doubles. Let's have a look at its physical moves. Oof. All right. We did a physical one already, but it does get Icicle Sphere or Triple Axle. So you can pick whatever amazing one you want. And Foul Play is actually low-key good as a support move in doubles. But anyway, to sum up, Ninetales Alola is a great Pokemon. Excellent. You know, the best Veil setter in the game. Best Snow setter in the game. It can fire off 100% accuracy blizzards. It's got good speed. It's got good, good bulk there, and it's going to work on pretty much even a non-snow team. It's going to work well on because it could just give a free veil, and it's very, very easy to do with it. So that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this one. We might do Ninetales afterwards. Normal Ninetales. I think that's going to come up next. All right, if you enjoyed it, drop a like on the video. If you've got a Pokemon you want to suggest, put it below, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.